And we get to go on with the show right here on Entertainment Thursday. We are starting our first interview. I've actually seen your messages. We'll come back and I'll read through them and I'll ensure that the DJ gets to play your favorite East African collaboration, music collaboration. Right now, let's talk Martha's stage performance. Let's talk theater. Let's talk about the Lion King Jr. Yes, and I have the cast members of the play as well as the music director, and I will just allow them to introduce themselves, beginning with Mr. Music Director. Hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Gabriel Muloki, music director, trumpeter, songwriter, composer. I'm also a dance choreographer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Han Akot. I am 16 and I play the role of older Simba.
You're playing Simba.
Of course.
Old, amazing. How about you?
Hi, my name is Ler Lumiere Jouar, and I play Scar.
I can tell from the voice. You definitely had to get that part.
Yeah.
So you are part of the cast members of Lion King Jr. And just reading through that press release, it has such a huge cast. Lion King Jr. has about 80 people on stage. 80 people on stage. And the crew, we have almost 30. So that's about almost 110 people who are part of this play. Yeah. Just from that point of view, I don't know if you've been on a different play before, and how different is it from this one, being that it has such a huge number of people participating?
Well, I mean, it's an interesting opportunity because a great deal of the plays that I did before were a little smaller. So this is a large ensemble. You get to interact with so many people, and then the exchange of energy between the entirety of the cast is profound. And the thing is, a great deal of us bond so well. There's such good chemistry, and when we step foot on stage, it's palpable. It can be felt by the audience. Yeah.
All right. How about you? Have you been on a different stage, and how different is it from the Lion King Jr.?
I think it's different for a different reason. I think for me, I've worked with many large casts, but the difference is that you know, like my upbringing, they're very similar to all the people that I've, you know, performed with. And, you know, the thing with theater, it tends to bring people of different backgrounds and different identities together. At first, with the cast, you know, it was a bit bittersweet, you know. It was very, I guess you could say, uncomfortable in a sense, because you're with tons of different people from like tons of different backgrounds, and, you know, tons of different races and everything of that matter. But, you know, as the days went on, I kind of realized that, you know, we have one thing that we all have in common, and that is to be able to sing, to be able to entertain in that sense. So yeah, at first, you know, I was a bit uneasy about it, but you know, over the few days and over the few months that I've been rehearsing with these beautiful people, you know, it becomes worthwhile in a sense.
All right. It's a huge ensemble, as we've mentioned. So how many people are singing?
Around 50 people.
50 people are singing?
Yes.
So you are directing 50 people. It's like a huge, what do we call it, choir?
Yes. Yes.
So how was that like for you?
It was really interesting, but at the same time exciting, because I was like, I need an ensemble. I need their voice to be loud for the theater, because some of the songs are really powerful, and it can only be achieved by the huge cast members. All these cast members, they are first of all singers. Before it turns into Simba, before it goes into Scar's character, he is first a singer.
So I can imagine when the auditions were being done, the part of the auditions was, can you sing?
That was the first point.
That was the first
point. If you cannot sing, don't read any lines. Don't read
As a matter of fact, I thought he was the director. because he was basically the one asking the questions. Okay, can you sing?
Yeah.
Your notes are perfect. I love the pitch variation. I love this. I love that. It got to the point where I was like, okay, so this is the director.
Yeah.
It turns out, no, he's the music director.
Yeah.
And you know, like the thing with Gabriel, I think with all the questions that he's asking about our voices as instruments, it is kind of valid because I think with musical theater, you are using music to kind of relay the story forward and to kind of bring out that central message. So yeah, all of his questions are valid, and I think he's really, you know, really nagging about use your voices as instruments, and you know, use your voice as your primary source in theater, because you essentially are using your voice to kind of relay that message forward in that sense.
So you were the intimidating judge in the
No,
panel,
no,
huh?
no.
Well, initially, kind of.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Kind of,
I had to
yeah.
set the standards, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, you knew what you wanted, and it's a musical, so.
The word musical appears in the title Lion King Jr. musical. So I did not want people who are going to disturb me by singing off key and everything. So I wanted proper singers first, then I'll see if they can act later.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. So have you been a singer all through?
Well, before Lion King, yes. Yes. Quite extensively, actually.
Yeah.
I've done almost every art imaginable, and because of my voice, it's a funny story that I was born with the low voice. Like, while other children are wailing, I'm crying. Yeah. So I was sort of.
I will cry again.
So I was sort of pushed to that because of my low voice, and there was training, there was all this and all that, and it was quite intense for a while. Yeah, but I was glad I met these guys, because now, despite the fact that I could sing, I didn't do a musical until Lion King. So Lion King Jr. was essentially the first musical, and what I loved about that experience was that with him and then with the director, Michael, I got to learn how to blend music and character. So I got to learn how Simba would sing a song as Simba, not as Han, how Lair would sing a song as Scar. And that's what makes it so powerful. Okay, it's Scar singing, it's Simba singing, it's Nala singing, that was an amazing experience.
Yeah, we've not had many musicals in the country. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just from the knowledge I have from theater, I don't feel like we've had as many musicals. What is it about musicals that maybe we're not doing many of them? Is it that a lot goes into doing a musical, or what is it?
Yes, first of all, in a normal play, you just need a director. In the musical, you need a music director and also a director. That's one. Second, I'm sad to say, but to get the perfect cast for a musical is hard. You find great actors, bad singers. Great singers, worst actors and everything. So it becomes a challenge in casting. So most producers shy away from taking up a musical because of that. It's usually a challenge in the cast, because most cast members, they are really great in acting. They can really master the lines and everything. But when it comes to singing, you feel like the performance levels go low. So that's why there have not been as many. But now the space is opening. We have a lot of musicals which are happening in the country, starting with Lion King, and also another production which Kidfest will put out by the end of the year.
Nice. So something else is coming up. A musical is coming up.
Yes.
Old Simba.
Older Simba.
The older Simba, not the young Simba. You know, this is an adaptation from the Lion King that we all know from Broadway, right? So how was it like for you just getting into that character?
I think for every musical that I've been in, I've always been very adamant about what I want. I think once I go into research about the show and the characters and the songs, I think I'm like, okay, this is the character that I want to do. I want to go through it. I think with The Lion King, it's so popular, you know, it's been a part of every single like everybody's childhood.
Yes.
There is a bunch of characters that like I could have gone for, and it felt very confusing at first because I didn't want to audition one character and then undermine all of the others. So originally I was going to audition for Scar, which was Led's role, and then after a few days, I kind of realized that, Simba wasn't really too far from me, in terms of the choices that he makes and, all the hardship that he goes through. He goes through things such as grief and, identity and, scrambling to find your place in society. And that's all of the things that, I've gone through, especially, being an adolescent, especially in the world that we live in today.
Yeah.
In terms of getting into the role, I think with this production, it kind of forced me to go, like, adhere to, different, like, genres or anything of that, if that makes sense. My bad, but if that makes sense. So it almost felt too easy for me. It almost felt too easy in that sense. So I really had to really work with different things that we use in musical theater. So if I felt that, a note was too low, I could just figure out how to do an opt-up or anything of that matter. If I felt that, Simba's movement was very static, I could make it dynamic by jumping and dancing and really getting the audience riled up. So yeah, to answer your question, it felt too easy, but then we have to break bread in order to make bread. So I really had to be resourceful with the stuff that was around me and my surroundings.
All right. What goes into being a music director for a musical? Like, what exactly are you doing?
For in Lion King Jr., let me use this as an example.
Yes.
There's just a little bit of dialogue, dialogue and song. So I am involved in both singing and also the instrumentalist. We have a band, everything in the play is live accompaniment. So I also train the bass guitarists, the trumpeters, the lead guitarists and all that. So to put a musical together, I have to ensure every music which is heard in the production is on spot, everything from the chanting, from the singing, and also from the instruments playing.
All right,
Yeah.
okay. On that note, we take a break. Don't go too far. We'll be back to continue with this conversation.
Come with me. Look, Simba. Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Wow!
King's time as a ruler rises and sets as the sun. One day, Simba, sun will set on me as the king and will rise anew as the new ruler.
So all this will be mine?
Everything.
Every single thing the light touches?
Everything the light touches.
What about that shadowy place over there?
That is beyond our borders. You must never go there.
And that is just a teeny bit, just a trailer, just kuwakumbusha tu kidogo vile kutakuwa, of the Lion King Jr., the musical that will be happening. We're going to be mentioning the dates that that will be taking place and where exactly we can be able to go and experience Lion King Jr. This is the first time we are doing a Lion King in, no. You've come back. You did, but you were the first people to do it in Kenya, right?
Yes.
You had the showings happening on in June this year.
Yes.
So you're back by popular demand.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
If I can say, the crowd reactions, the feedback we were getting on the ground, it was every time we fade to black during scene changes and everything, the crowd was cheering and everything. It's a very popular production and many kids identify. I had someone who wanted to audition for me after the end of the show. He was like, my spirit is calling me that I should be part of this production. And it was so amazing to see how many lives we touched. When we aired the production in June, it was during school it was during school. The term was not on a break or anything, but now it's on holidays, so a lot of kids will come for the show. That's why we are back due to popular demand.
All right, that is amazing. I missed the one in June, so this time I'm not going to miss this one. When you with the musicals, what songs are we singing in there? Are we doing the same songs we've heard from the actual Lion King? Are we tweaking it a bit? Let us in, music director.
I cannot confirm nor deny. You'll have to come to the show. So that,
You don't want to let us in on that, huh?
but for real, we have Kenyanized it a bit.
Love it, love it. That is what I was expecting. So you've kind of Kenyanized it a bit.
Yeah.
It has a feel of home.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. So I'll release you, music director, so that we can have the other cast member. As my director is doing that, I'd like to hear about your role, that is Scar. So how was it like for you getting into that role? And I mean, he mentioned that he had actually auditioned for Scar at first. So was that the role you were going for at first? And now, after getting this role, how did you get into it?
So it never comes as a surprise to say that I almost always do antagonists. So apparently I have that face. Yeah, I always play the bad guy, the evil one, yeah. But curiously enough, when I saw the audition, I wanted to do Mufasa because I love James Earl Jones. Right, I love how he speaks, and he did Mufasa's voice so beautifully. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go do Mufasa. But my uncle, we were watching another play, and my uncle looked at me and said, do Scar.
Yeah.
Do Scar. And that was 2 months from the audition, so I prepared for the audition for 2 months. Scar is interesting in the sense, especially in the dynamic between him and his brother. You think of Mufasa as the weight of society. Think of it as the crushing weight of culture, of having a norm, of having standard and tradition. That's Mufasa. He upholds the law. He's powerful, he's authoritative, and he does all of that from a point of love, from a point of concern. However, it's crushing weight. Scar is sort of the result of that weight. Scar is the resulting resentment that begins to boil out of constantly being pushed down by law, by convention, and then also the result of him constantly living under his brother's shadow. So Scar was interesting because it allowed me to channel well, resentment. But you should see Mufasa and I off stage. We're brothers, like in actual sense. We love each other, but when we go on set, you think we're enemies. You feel like we hate each other, and it's bringing that, embodying that, and you can see. I don't even think of Scar as the villain. I just think of him as a survivor, okay? A survivor with ambition. And the ambition comes from very, very, very murky motivations, very dark motivations, which results in the product being utterly catastrophic. But he's still a survivor. And if you look at modern culture, if you look at society, there's a lot of that tension, there's a lot of that anger, that resentment. And I feel like Scar is like a, what would I call it? Imagine what would happen if your motivations don't come from a point of love. I mean, you do want to become king, you see that you can make something, you see that you can make the world a better place, but your motivations are very dark. So meaning the result will be equally, if not more,
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
All right. Now allow me to introduce the other cast member. Her name is Sheila Wanjiru. Sheila, welcome to the show. And if you can just, begin off by letting us know the role you play.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheila Wanjiru. I'm 15 years old and I'm playing Older Nala and Rafiki.
Nice. Yeah. How was it like for you just being part of this production?
Okay, so I get to learn more and I get to make many friends and family, close people. And yeah, it's a very fun experience.
So you're playing Nala, the older Nala.
Yeah.
Is there a specific thing you would say you've done or you're doing to get into that character?
First of all, Nala is very emotional, so I have to be emotional all the time, and she's very fierce and she's determined. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, you already have shown, like you have already performed for the audience because you are now coming back. This we already got to watch. Okay, I wasn't there, but people who were there got to watch The Lion King Jr., the musical, in June. Yeah. How would you say that experience was like for you, just being on that stage and performing to the audience that was there? Let me start with you.
I think, the feeling of putting on a costume, singing a song, and, doing every single scene. I think every millisecond you're on stage, you feel so grateful and you feel so many feelings to the point where it's so unexplainable. To be able to perform back in June and to be able to get all this love and to get all the support and to be told that, hey, you were amazing and you were so great. It's such an amazing feeling, and that's something that not only myself, I think Led and Sheila, that's what we live for. I think that's our drug, Yeah. It's what keeps us going. So yeah, I think to be able to get all that support and to get all that appreciation simply of us singing a song or anything of that matter, just to be able to do something and to get the audience riled up is something that's just so appreciative.
Were the nerves doing their thing? Yeah, go ahead, Sheila, because you give me a huge note there.
Okay, yeah, when we were rehearsing, you're doing one scene at a time. But then now during the tech week, you're doing everything together.
Yeah.
Now, like during the very first show, like you're nervous, everything is overwhelming because you see there's lighting, costumes, you have to get everything together. So it's very overwhelming, and you, as he said, you don't know the feeling. Just there. But the people who come and watch, if you have great energy, that keeps us going. So yeah.
So you feed on the energy of the crowd?
Yeah.
You personally?
Yeah. If I don't get any energy like from the crowd, I'd feel like, okay, maybe I didn't do good. Like you're just down.
Do you feed off the audience's energy?
Well, for me, no.
I know it's different for different people. For her, she depends on their energy. What about you?
For me, I am the energy. I don't get stage fright. It's a weird thing.
You never get stage fright?
Not at all. Not at all. I just go on stage and I'll speak. I don't feed off of the audience's energy, but I love to give it energy. I love to rile the audience up from time to time. But in general, if I'm on stage, they don't exist. I don't know how to explain it. I don't see them.
So it's like you shut your eyes, but you're not shutting them.
It's
right?
not even shut. It's more. It's the savannah. It's not the auditorium. It's the savannah. I can't see them. Like there are people who came to watch me, who are invited, and they were in the front rows, and they said, "Did you see me when you passed by?" And I didn't see them at all. Yeah, I don't feed off the audience's energy, but I love to give. Yeah.
I like that. What about you? I know you know, as I mentioned, different people have different ways of going about it. And once upon a time, I used to also be a performer, right, on stage. And what we were being advised is do not look at people's eyes. Look at their foreheads. Up here, it's like they don't exist. Just look at them up here. How do you, you know, manage the maybe anxiety or nerves?
I think one of the biggest things for me is emotional regulation. I think if it's really dawning on me, I think I'd probably do meditation or just simple breathing exercises to be really regulated and to just be ready for that performance is something that something that's really great for you.
Okay.
And also, like, how I maneuver for that is, you know, I just try to control the morale. You know, if everybody's down, I try to find some type of way to kind of trying to big everyone else up. Like, hey, you're doing great, you're doing amazing, the show is going to be good. You know, the show wouldn't be itself, you know, without you. And, you know, for people to get that comfort and for people to get that reassurance, to be able to go out there and be like, yeah, I feel like I am doing a great job. I am going to have a great show. You know, it's something that just feels, I feel so grateful, you know, and people feel grateful for me for doing that. And also with your strategy on how to look at audiences, like Ler said, it's all an abyss. I think when you are so immersed into the character and you are so immersed into the story, everything just becomes a blur, and you are just in it, and on and off stage, you are just in it. Every millisecond you are on stage, you just try to own it. And if you just can't, you just find different ways to do
it. Okay, we need to finalize. So where are we coming to watch the show, and when exactly is it happening?
Okay, so the show is at the Braben Theatre on Gitanga Road from the 21st to the 23rd of August. There'll be 5 shows. On Friday tomorrow at 7 p.m. that will be the opening night, and then there'll be 2 shows on Saturday and on Sunday, at 2 and at 7.
All right.
Respectively.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. You're doing a musical. There's no I'm letting you people go without hearing your voices. Kidogo too. We'll come hear your voices, you know, at the show, but just something small. I don't know if you want to do it all of you together, something, or Munipange. You decide. How are you doing it?
What should we do?
Gabu, what do you think?
Yeah, music director.
Music director, just shout a song that you want them to sing.
Just do the opening for Circle of Life.
Okay, the opening for Circle of Life.
D major.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no way we're having you
major.
people here and you don't get to hear your voices. That would be a disjustice. Okay, let's.
CTU. Okay.
Nantingonya mabagiti baba.
Sitihu gonyama.
Nantingonya mabagiti baba.
Sitihu gonyama. Gonyama. Ingonyama ningwe na mabala. Ingonyama ningwe na mabala. Ingonyama ningwe na mabala.
From the day we
Ingonyama
arrived
ningwe na
on
mabala.
the
Ingonyama
planet
ningwe na mabala.
and blinking,
Ingonyama ningwe na
step
mabala.
into the
Ingonyama ningwe
sun.
na mabala.
There is more to
Ingonyama
see
ningwe na mabala.
that could ever be
Ingonyama
seen,
ningwe na
more
mabala.
to do
Ingonyama
that could
ningwe na
ever
mabala.
be done. There is far too much to take in
Ingonyama
here,
ningwe na
more
mabala.
to find
Ingonyama
that could
ningwe
ever
na mabala.
be
Ingonyama
found.
ningwe
But the sun won't high, in the seafaring sky keeps great and small. On the endless round, it's the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love. So we find our place on the the circle of
My goodness. Oh boy, this is not a show to miss. You have heard from them where you can be able to go catch them. You have heard the voices. Need I say more? I mean, amazing, perfect voices. You have amazing, beautiful, big voices. This is where we end this interview. But remember, Entertainment Thursday gets to continue, so do not go too far. Thank you for coming, guys.
No worries.